Today I'm going to show you how I close my pool. It's not that bad a job, and if you follow these simple steps you won't have any trouble. Let's get at it. First you have to drain down the pool to below the returns. Remove the basket and drain the pool down until the water is below the skimmer intake. While you're draining down, make sure only the bottom valve is left open. Close the valve from the skimmer, otherwise you'll suck air. You gotta drain it right down, put the selector valve into waste, and let the water go down the drain until the water level in the pool is below the returns. As soon as the water gets down below the skimmer, you can turn on the skimmer for a second just to suck all the water out of the bowl. It's always a shame to lose all this good water down the drain, but you've got to get the water down below the returns so that we can use the air compressor to blow out the lines. The other reason, of course, to take the water level down is because we're going to get a lot of snow and rain in the next 6 months, and we don't want the pool to overflow during the winter. Looks like we're down below the skimmer now, so we can momentarily turn on the other valve, suck the water out of the basket here. Okay, we're going to turn the skimmer valve on momentarily to drain the line from the skimmer, and we're going to turn off the line from the pool bottom. You see water is coming into the basket still, and then it'll all of a sudden suck air, and we'll know that we've emptied the skimmer basket. There, I think we've accomplished that. We can turn off the skimmer and continue draining the pool with the bottom drain until we're below the returns. Now that the skimmer basket area has been completely drained and the lines going back to the pump, we can put in the gizmo, and this just prevents any water from getting back into the line. And since it's full of air made out of plastic, if any rainwater gets into this hole and freezes, as it expands, the idea is this gizmo is supposed to collapse and prevent damage to the skimmer area. Put the lid back on and we're good for till next spring. The water's going down nicely. In another 15 or 20 minutes we should be down below the returns. We'll check it then. Don't forget to put everything that might get chewed up by the squirrels through the winter, put it away in the cupboard. Make sure the doors are shut. Positively they can't get in and ruin things. I have a small air compressor that I use to blow out the lines, and a little piece of rigged up foam rubber and a plug that I use to put into the return pipe to blow the water out. I made a little tool that you can use to remove the eyeball from the return. Works pretty good. Just be sure you don't drop it in. Well, it's not the end of the world, I suppose. You can get it next spring. I'll probably drop it. Working with one hand here. I'll probably drop it. No. I never sprayed them with silicone, so they can be a little tough to get started. You can use a pair of vice grips on the handy tool to loosen it off. And then it's quite easy to get them out. Just again, try not to drop them in the pool, but if you do, not the end of the world. There we go. Number 2, one more to go. Once we get all the plugs out, all the eyeballs removed, we can start the pump, blow out these lines one at a time, put in a plug, now that we got the water down below the returns, we can disconnect the plumbing and get ready to blow out the lines. Usually these come off by hand. Yeah, no problem. All of the lines have to come off. If they're too hard to get, you can use a wrench. Just take everything apart. It's all got to come apart anyway, so everything. The primary basket at the pump, not much in there. There's a couple of plugs that have to come out on the far side. They're just plastic plugs, don't lose them. Then we got another plug. Actually a cap is way down under the filter. Feel it. Of course it's too hard to undo. I'll get the wrench. undo all the lines. Well, not all the lines have to be undone, but this is the drain. You could undo it, but it doesn't. It'll be drained anyway. I don't usually do the drain. We'll do the heater, and then we'll go outside and winterize the heater. Out here we need to turn off the gas. Won't be needing it now. And then there's these two lines that run back into the pool house that we just undid. I used a wrench to get it started. I let the water run out of the pool heater. Leave a little gap so we can put the cover on over top of the unit. So once we get it all drained out. Next we'll drain the we'll disconnect the element for the chlorinator. Once we got it removed, I just set it up here on top of the. Chlorinator unit. Let the wire hang down. Now that we've got everything disconnected, it's time to put on the standpipes. They just screw on the same way as the fittings were on before, except that they don't allow any water to start a siphon action, which could drain the pool. So we get the standpipes on and snugged up. We can open the valves. So when they freeze, the ice has somewhere to go. Now we can hook up our air compressor to the return line, jam this foam rubber into the thing and hope it'll stay in there while we get the plugs in. If you don't have any help, you might have to temporarily duct tape this air fitting onto the return. You can see the water coming out. I usually go to this one, the closest one, first, and then work my way over to the other one on the south side, and then the other one at the east end. This is the one at the west, closest to the pool house. Once the water stops coming out a bit, you can put one of these plugs in. Never get it all out, so just get what you can and then put the plug in. Once you put the first plug in, it'll drive the air to the other ones. You can hear the other one going there. There's a plug in place, and I'll I'll head over to the other ones. That's 2 in place now, that one and the one over there. And now I have to go down and do this one. But if you put the plug in now, the air will have no place to go. Something's going to give, so I'm going to turn the pump off, the air compressor. Okay, this one's high and dry. We can get our last plug in. These just stop water from going back into the pipes as the water level increases due to snow buildup and rain. We don't want them filling up with water and then freezing. So that's the last one. I don't know who designed the original setup and installed 2 standpipes. You obviously really don't need the one for the skimmer basket. Maybe they just felt that if you got them mixed up and forgot which one was which, and gave 2 so that you'd always be right. I don't know. But now is the time to blow out the standpipe that leads to the bottom drain. In normal situations, you wouldn't even have these standpipes. The only reason we have them is our pool pump is located a couple of feet below the normal high level water line in the pool. So if you don't have the standpipes, there's a possibility that the water would continue to run out as the level increased with melting snow and rain, and it could start a siphon action which would drain the pool. I actually had this happen one year where we were quite shocked to see the water level down way below what it should be. That's an undesirable effect for sure. You can see the bubbles hitting the pool cover, so we know the air is going down to the bottom drain and coming up. So now what we'll do is go back into the pool house, which, as you can see, is down a few steps. And below the water level of the pool. Now we can turn off the valve to prevent water from coming back, or air from getting out too quickly, and if it comes rushing back, it'll actually fill the pipe right up again. So we want to let the pressure off slowly and keep the water out of this pipe. Just check that the bottom drain return is empty, and then we can do it back up. There we are. The standpipes are reinstalled and the pipes are empty, ready for winter. Make sure you set the dial on the filter to winterize, and at this time you should remove the pressure gauge and put it away. Now it's time to remove the pressure gauge. Don't forget to put this back on again in the spring. Make sure your electrical breakers are in the off position for the winter. Well, that went pretty smoothly. I think I'll make another video in the spring and show you how I open the pool. That's a lot easier than closing it. Till then, bye for now.